Will you be one of those facing this massive tax increase like you've never seen? A tax increase like you've never seen. It's coming, potentially. We'll see. We'll see. So let me show you something here. This is from the Census Bureau household income. All right, so you can see households by total money income. And I'm going to show you some here. Between 150 and 199 in 2023 dollars, 9.5% of the households make over 150 and less than $200,000. Another 14.4% make over 200,000 bucks. So we add these two things, there's 23.9%. Why am I focusing on these two numbers? Anyone want to guess? Guess. Put in the show notes if you guess. Because that's where the Social Security maximum wages are stopped for taxation. Basically, I think it's like 168 right now for 2025. Don't quote me on that, but it's around that. So you pay, as an employee, 6.2% on Social Security tax, another 1.45% for Medicare, but this case is just 6.2%, where the wages are capped for taxation. Anything above 168, you don't pay the 6.2. All right, you don't. So if you're self-employed and you make 168, you pay 12.4, 6.2 as the employee, 6.2 as the employer. Now you get to write off the 6.2 you pay as an employer, but remember, a write-off is just a deduction off income. It's not a credit where you actually get a dollar for dollar tax reduction. It doesn't work like that. Anyway, you always rather have a credit than a deduction, always, everywhere and always. All right, just keep that in the back of your mind. All right, so what are people always doing, the libs in particular? They're always saying, get rid of the cap, get rid of the cap, they'll solve Social Security. I'm just sitting there thinking, do you know how big of a tax hit that would be to get rid of the cap, you freaking crazy loons? You're talking a 12.4% tax increase if you're self-employed, or even a 6.2% tax increase if you're just a W-2 worker. Now, that is only on earned income, I grant you. So it's not on dividends. It's not on capital gains, all right? It's only on earned income. But how many mid-level to high-level executives are out there with making basically the bulk, if not all, of their money are coming from W-2s? How many employees do you have that if you're a self-employed person who's the bulk of their income that you pay is coming from W-2s? You know, you might be a small mom and pop company. You're like, man, I need my CTO, chief technology officer, chief investment officer, whatever, or chief information officer, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to pay him $300,000 a year. Because if I don't, my business sucks. You see what I'm saying? Tons and tons. I mean, you can just see right here. Yeah. 14.4% of households are making over 200,000 bucks. Now, again, is that all earned income? No. But I can almost assure you the vast majority of that is earned income for most people. It is, and as such, it'll be subject to an increase in Social Security taxes, like a tax increase you've never seen before. I mean, think about it. If you make $150,000, all right, you pay, in this case, 6.2% on the first $150,000. The next $150,000, just for simplicity, you pay nothing. All right, so now if you got get rid of the wage cap, you pay 6.2% on the next $150,000. That's a 100% tax increase. 100% tax increase. A tax increase like you've never seen before. Oh, that's no big deal. 6.2% on $150,000, George. That's only $150,000 times 6.2%. That's only $9,300, man. Who are those people making that kind of money? Oh, a lot of them are what? Families, kids in school, kids with braces, kids going to sports camps. It's the biggest tax hit they'll ever see. Now, you can make an argument. It's just only going to increase their Social Security benefit. Will it? Will it? Dollar for dollar? No, not at all, because we know what the third bend point is, which is 15%. And so we know for a fact that it's not going to increase their Social Security by dollar for dollar on the $9,300 that they're going to put in there. And that's just a 6.2. If you're like me and you're self-employed, that'd be $18,600 I'd have to pay. Oh, but you get to write off some of it. Again, write-off it doesn't save. I'd rather not have a write-off and not pay the tax than have a tax and have the write-off. It's stupid, man. And this is what's coming because all these fools out there think, oh, just get rid of the cap. They think Elon Musk is getting some kind of big benefit on Social Security wages. And, frankly, he is. But Elon Musk is a huge exception to the rule. Huge. Huge. The vast majority of people in this threshold right here are self-employed And if they're doing it correctly, in my opinion, they're not taking huge dividends off their income, which dividends avoid Social Security taxation, FICA. They're actually paying as a labor, all right? They're paying as earnings. As such, they have to pay this 7.65, which is on 15, whatever that is, 15.2 or something like that, or 6.2 solely for Social Security. Because I'm telling you, I know a lot of business owners, I used to be in business banking, they showed $20,000 of earned income, but $80,000 of dividends. And I said, dude, do you think the IRS doesn't know what you're doing? Because they didn't want to pay the Social Security tax. And then they gripe when they didn't have much for Social Security. I paid the taxes. Yeah, you only paid the tax at $25,000, a quarter of your income was Social Security, subject to Social Security taxes because you were pretending you're getting a dividend as opposed to salary, which is just I don't do that. It's stupid. But anyway, the tax hit isn't just for the wealthy. The tax hit would be for these almost 25% of the population. Again, these are not just labor income. I grant you, these are capital gains, dividends, and things of that nature. But how much of that 23.9% who are going to get hit with the taxation is not making over $150,000? I guarantee the vast majority are. And they're going to pay a significant tax. Oh, by the way, the vast majority of those people aren't Elon Musk or freaking rich clowns, Bill Gates. The vast majority of these guys are just small business owners. That's it. You can look at the tax codes. You can see. You say, oh, man, a bunch of small business owners. Is that going to be you? You prepared for that? So when the Democrats come knocking, just raise the cap or get rid of the cap. Just remember, say, oh, and this is what you got to say. Don't argue that it won't fix Social Security because it won't, but that's stupid. You say, oh, so you want to tax 25%, this is what you say. You want to increase for the taxes for 25% of the population, the biggest tax you've ever seen. The biggest tax rate you've ever seen, you want to go after 25% of the population because that's literally what it is. 25% of the population would be paying the biggest tax increase you ever see. And say, hey, and if you need to go down the rabbit hole, that won't fix Social Security, that's fine. But you can say easily, so 25% of the population is going to pay a 100% increase in taxes. You okay with that? And let them say yes. Let them say yes because it's idiotic. Raise the cap won't fix Social Security, but it will hurt business owners in particular. Small business owners, which employ the most people. And if you're among those 25%, this is a big deal. This is a huge deal. All right, God bless. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.